So you're working on a project and you need a particular router bit. The first thought that crosses through your mind is crap. Now I got to dig through that drawer and see if I could find it. That is, if I even own it. In this video, 3 quick tips to help you sort out that drawer and have your router bit collection be the talk of the neighborhood. Possibly. And before we get started, now's probably a good time to soak those router bits in some cleaner. Give them a good scrub with a wire brush, $1.50 Harbor Freight. And then when they're nice and clean, I like to spray them with a blade coat. It's a blade and bit lubricant. Dirty router bits equals burning, poor performance. So a little bit of love goes a long way. So quick tip number 1, we're going to grab a Sharpie and we're going to write the part number of the router bit right on the shank of the bit. Sharpies work great, they're permanent. The marking's gonna last for a number of years. It won't wash away in most cleaners, and Sharpies write really well on the metal. I'll also write any important information about the bit right on the bit itself. For example, this roundover bit, it's a 3/16 inch roundover, so I wrote 3/16 of an inch. That way I don't have to guess, I don't have to look anything up. So in just a few short seconds with a Sharpie, you'll have all the critical information about the bit in the palm of your hand, and you won't need a microscope to read those tiny letters that the manufacturer etches on. Now, quick tip number 2, run profiles of your router bits on blocks of scrap wood. Let's say you're working on a tabletop and you have 6 different router bits with different edge treatments that you want to choose from. Sure, you could read the description of the bit, 1/4 inch roundover, but what does that even look like? And sure, you could look at the profile of the bit, but nothing quite compares to actually seeing and feeling the different profiles on blocks of wood, especially when you could look at them side by side. It's going to make your selection process a whole lot easier. Tip number 3, make a spreadsheet for your router bits. I know, sounds like a bit much. Hear me out. If you've been at this for a while, you probably have a drawer full of router bits that you purchased, some of them maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, and there's no way you're going to know exactly what you have in the drawer. And when that happens, you waste too much time digging around, or worse, you go to the store, you buy a bit, only to find out later, I already have that bit. Now I have 2 of them. So I went through my collection of router bits, around 50 pieces. I'm sure some of you out there have a lot more than that. And on the spreadsheet, I set up columns for the manufacturer, part number, shank size, description, which you can get from the manufacturer's website, any notes for when you're setting up the bit, and the recommended RPM speed. I also grouped like bits together. For example, all the upcut spiral bits are in one spot, as are all the roundover bits. So I'll keep a copy of the spreadsheet in the drawer with the router bits, and it's a lot quicker to go through this than to scan through 50 or 60 router bits to see if you have the exact router bit that you're after. So I'll update this spreadsheet a few times a year as needed, and because all of our documents are in the cloud, you could be at the store buying milk, eggs, and Cove bits with a 3/16 inch radius, and you can look on your phone to see if you actually need that bit. And if I could leave you with a couple of quick pieces of advice, buy router bits as you need them. Going through that drawer, I found router bits that are still in the original packaging. I thought I would need them eventually. I never did. I mean, a 2-inch long straight bit, what am I going to do with that? Also, steer clear of router bit sets, especially those that are marketed towards beginner woodworkers. I bought this set of 15 bits about 15 years ago, and I used 3 of them. 12 useless bits, and the quality pretty shoddy. I hope you found some of this information helpful. Please check out one of my build videos. Feel free to subscribe. And until the next one, take care.